Howdy folks, happy Easter. We are here at Outbound Station on our way on a 4x4 trip with Daneka and Shaun, and we've got Madeleine and John and everybody here. This is such a cool spot, Outbound Station, on the Sea to Sky Highway on the way to Squamish from Vancouver. Some sort of Porsche convention or something going on. Check it, all the Porsches standing around here. Anyway, we are heading out to the other side of Squamish, kind of Whistler side. We're going to do a 4x4 trip up the mountain. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting, a bit of backcountry bashing, I guess, with Daneka and Shaun. They do it regularly, so they invited us along and we're going to go check it out. I got to tell you though that this place, this Outbound Station, they actually had a stroke of genius setting up this little spot here on the side of the highway. I think they're pumping most of the time. Anyway, I'll get some more footage together of this 4x4 trip, and it's gonna be fun. Alright, so this is such a beautiful drive, I must say, and it was a stunning day. Sun was out. It wasn't entirely hot yet, because even though it's spring, technically it's not entirely hot. But I mean, look at this. So that was the main road to Whistler, and then a little ways down you turn off and you drive through the forest. We went to this Forest Service Road at the end, past a restaurant called Fergie's. Yeah, actually apparently a very nice place. We didn't really stop off there, but apparently it's like a very well off the beaten track hidden spot. But I mean, look at this. This is what I love about BC. This is what I love about this country. Look at this beautiful drive. I love trees, you know, and it's just so stunning. So we were 3 vehicles. It was Gavin with a white Explorer in front of us, and we were driving with John and his big 4x4 bucky. And then you hit the dirt road. I must say, Daneka and Shaun was actually nice on us. They were worried about our 4x4ing experience, so they didn't really take a bad road. This is a dirt road. I mean, there's guys with moto rent-a-cars that go through here, and little VWs that we found. So, and then all over the place, check out the wooden bridge. All over the place, there's these campers, like those guys that you just saw on the side there. So that's the beauty of these little forest roads or service roads. You're allowed to camp. It's public land, so you can just set up your spot and you can camp right there. And it's not fires. There's no fire restrictions yet, so you can make a fire. But check it out. Everywhere along the road, you'll see little cars parked and people just chilling. So this was the trip up the mountain to that beautiful little waterfall, I guess you can call it. It wasn't really a waterfall. It's just a spot up on the mountain, which we'll get to right now. And this is like, I mean, it's still a great road. There's not much 4x4ing. It's a little shaky because what the other guys did, there's a couple of holes and things, and you got to take it slow here and there. But all the way you've got these rivers and the trees and the mountains, and I had to pull over because it's a narrow road. It really is stunning. It's so worth it to go out there and take a drive up. And like I said, lots of people actually do it with their little VW Jettas and stuff. There was, I guess, on this whole trip, maybe 2 or 3 hairy places, and it was mostly on up this mountain here. But, yeah, got to do it. It's just like this one there. It's a few holes and things. So what Daneka and Shaun does is they've got a little electronic compressor, and they let the air out of their tires so that their tires are a little bit flatter, and that makes the ride a little softer. I wonder what these piles of wood are. So everywhere you drive, there's big clearings, and then they stack these piles of woods in the clearing. Almost looks like they're wanting to do giant bonfires. So let me know if you know what the piles of wood are for. Are they just clearing the brush? Are they just, I don't know what it is. Looks weird. So it's obviously where they've chopped down trees or forest. Anyway, so yeah, we're driving up this mountain, but I mean, look at it. It's majestic. It's so stunning. And you've got the river down on the valley. There's a lot of rivers everywhere. So yeah, I mean, that is just, it's so lekker. Got to start doing it more though, because it's so easy, you know. That's the thing. You just kind of, like, even today I'm sitting here making videos, and this morning it was cold and rainy. This is the day after the trip, and now the sun is out, and it's so easy to just kind of hang about the house and not actually go out and go do this kind of thing. Check campers everywhere, Oaks. This was probably the roughest place. It's just getting through the water and over the rocks here in front. But like I said, once again, Oaks with VW Jettas up there. So it's not like it's impossible, really, as long as you drive carefully. One thing to do is, if you go out on an adventure like this, is, you know, just always take some extra water, take some extra food, take some tools and things. Although we were there on Easter weekend, so the whole place was just not remote and not deserted at all. There was people everywhere. All right, here we are at the waterfall. All right, so here we are at the first stop. Check it out. It's absolutely stunning. Look at the river. It's this little waterfall, little bridgey thing in the end. And we've got everybody here. There's Gavin taking photos. Shaun, him and Daneka are the ones that's brought us out here. Maggie and Dash. Belinda and Madeleine. It's amazing how everywhere we drive along the road, there's people camping. And look at this little bridge. It's a little bit rickety, I must say. Doesn't look super strong, but hey, we can do it. I mean, look at this. It's stunning down here. Say hello, Shaun. John's out here. What are you trying to catch? I don't know if we should go down there. It looks a little bit fast moving, no? Say hello, Daneka. We've got Daneka and what's your names again? Ryan. Taylor. Hello, Ryan and Taylor. So they're the guys that are taking us on this adventure. They often do this. They drive down and come and check out all of these 4x4 places on the mountain. It's absolutely stunning, eh? Out here in nature. Beautiful. Quite a drive up the mountain, I'm going to tell you that much. But look at this. Anyway, there's going to be a lot more, so we'll get some extra footage. Do the turnaround up here at the top of the hill. Gavin is still reversing out. I must say the Explorer did well. We're in the bucky with Shaun over there. Plenty of space to turn around. Yeah. So the fact is, this is not a smooth road, so it's a little bit bumpy and shaky. And Shaun and Daneka, they let the air out of their tires so that it's easier, smoother. But the rest of our drivers have opted not to do that, so we're getting shaken around a bit. Alright, so this is our drive back down the hill, which obviously was significantly easier than the drive up. I know I should have probably cut off a lot of this footage, but it's just, I don't know, you know, it's just all so awesome. I mean, you need to get the idea of us driving through these forests and these little people camping on the roads and everything. And to be quite honest, I just didn't know what to cut out. So, hey, that's why you're here for the whole ride. I made it, sped it up, so it's only going to be half an hour. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, look at that. There's people sitting there. And I suppose these people just come out here, they camp there, and they go into the forest, and they walk around, or they go sit in the river, or they fish, or they do all kinds of like naturey things. And there's no cell phone reception out here, so it's not like you're sitting on your phone the whole time. I guess that's one of the main reasons people get out here, is to just disconnect a little bit, spend time in nature. And it's amazing. I mean, it feels different when you're there in between the trees and you listen to the water, and it's just different, right? Although I got to tell you, I mean, we were chatting about it on the road or while we were there. It's like, I don't know my kids, whether they would survive without their phones. And even myself, I mean, we've gotten so used to these things. We've gotten so used to these phones where we just literally always, you're always on. I mean, it's actually getting so bad that me and Belinda, when we sit at night and we watch Netflix, we are on our phone. So one screen isn't enough anymore. We've got two screens. It's really messed with our focus. And, well, I wouldn't call it focus, but it's just, I don't know, your attention span, really. You've got all of this information just being hammered at you through videos from everywhere, and it's crazy. Although it's kind of ironic, because you're sitting here watching a video of me saying that maybe you should watch less videos and get out there in the bush. But I mean, I definitely won't be mad at you if you do that, because we do need to start thinking about it, I guess. Although these days, of course, you can get yourself a satellite connection and have internet wherever you go. So you can sit in the trees and watch your and just look at your screen as well. It's funny. I mean, I look at all the screens and the interactivity, and I'm like, yeah, the kids of today, they just look at screens the whole time. But I guess when I was a kid, I used to love reading books, so I was always reading Hans Christian Andersen and all of these, like Louis L'Amour at one stage, cowboy books, and some of the German war stories. I mean, I used to love reading stories, so I suppose that was our internet at the time, eh? Anyway, so as you can see, when we're driving here, we're on our way back down to kind of the main road, which is the main service road. There's quite a few people at that little river crossing there. It's like quite a big camp that they had there. We're on our way back down to the service road, and we are just gonna go left there to carry on. There's like quite big recreational campsites, like the one on the left here that we're going to pass on the left here. There's a big this is just some other random one. So you have like quite big recreational sites that is kind of officially designated recreational sites, and then you have these others where people just chill, and these wooden bridges over the rivers. Crazy. All right, we are on the forest road now, bearing in mind, obviously, it was Easter Saturday, so it is there's just a crap load of traffic. They say that normally there's not that much traffic. We were actually supposed to go out to Harrison Lakes, because apparently there's some beautiful places there where you go up the mountain and to the lakes and everything. But Shaun and Daneka decided not to head out there and rather do the Squamish thing, because they're saying that Harrison Lake was just like super busy. It's crazy. Oh, and there's actually quite a few, like this on the right here, I think. There's quite a few little hydropower stations on these rivers. I didn't actually know that there were so many of those, or that they had these smaller ones. You always think about hydropower stations, you think about giant dams with hydroelectric power, but I was quite surprised to see all of the little hydropower plants, smaller ones on the rivers out here. Actually, if any of you know how many of those there are around, that would be interesting. How many hydropower plants does Vancouver have, or BC have? I can imagine a lot, because there's a lot of water. I mean, there's a lot of rivers. There's this big river on the left over here, and honestly, this is going to sound horrible, but I don't know the name of the river. We drove all the way next to it. Wow, that's no good. I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, but anyway, so it's lekker. It is lekker. Look, it is nature, so don't get me wrong. It's like, you know, there are flies, and we had Dash, the Harold's dog, with us, and then Dash picked up a tick while we were parked. So, you know, I guess you got to also understand that it is nature, and not. It looks beautiful on the video, and it is beautiful, and it's calming and refreshing and fresh air and all of this stuff. But you also have the other naturey things out there. Flies and mosquitoes. Jeez, the size of the mosquitoes. That was one of the funny things when we stopped there. One of the other stops we had, there was just like, oh, there at the top by the waterfall, there was just these like giant mosquitoes. That was absolutely crazy. I was, what the heck, man? It didn't bite me, but yeah, it's just like, there are mosquitoes out there, so you gotta have bug spray and you gotta be ready for it. It was a little bit dusty, and in hindsight I should have maybe driven in front so that we don't pick up all the dust. Well, check here, this is the river, so check it, just like tents and cars next to the river and people camping, and I wonder if you can see it, but in the river there's these islands, so people would park their cars and, I don't know, cross the shallows and go camp on the islands in the river. That is so cool. Sit there with their fishing rods and just chill, you know. And then, of course, you got the kayakers and the we just passed it. People camping on an island, and then you've got the kayakers, and you've got the rubber duckers, and you've got all of these oaks doing their little river thing. So it is quite cool. I suppose a lot of people go out there to go and smoke a few bongs and, you know, truly enjoy nature. Well, we saw a bunch of them anyway. So I'm sure there's lots of weird things people get up to when they go and camp in the bush. But for most people, it's just getting out there and enjoying nature, I guess. So we're getting close to the hideout where we ended up stopping for lunch and making a braai. Okay, so we've arrived at the Hideaway Recreation Site, and it is busy everywhere. It's Easter weekend, so but check this, how beautiful it is. So we were forced to like sit in the trees, but check it out. Well, like I say, it's Easter Saturday, so it's pumping everywhere. Look at how fast the river flows down here. It's nuts, man. We were unfortunately a little bit too late to get one of the riverfront camping sites. Hoppa! But check it out. It's a cool spot. This river flows properly fast, eh? Checking, there's people all the way down. There's tents. Stunning out here, though. Amazing. Anyway. And absolutely zero cell phone reception, so you can't sit on your phone and watch Netflix and do anything. You just kind of hang out with nature, listen to music, make a braai, which is what we're going to do right now. Grab some boerewors rolls and go for hikes and just chill and enjoy nature. So check it out. Gavin doing the U-turn thing. These Ford Explorers are doing well here through the bush. Okay. And then there's the other vehicle. The Ram 1500, which is the lead vehicle, Shaun and Daneka's vehicle. But I mean, check it out.
It was -4.
Beautiful.
It was -4. And,
It's like you feel so small when you're in here. Eh? Check at this. Wow. All right, and this is the drive back. Of course, the funny thing is, we were walking around. I was interviewing Shaun and Daneka. There's another video on the channel chatting with them. They're actually such cool people. Anyway, interviewing Shaun and Daneka and walking down, just down the path here on the chat. And who do we run into? Two South African brothers. It's been in Vancouver or in Canada for a while. One for 10 years and one for 17 years. But anyway, you find the South Africans everywhere, even in the farthest camp in the middle of the bush out there in Squamish. It's so funny. They didn't want to go on video though because, you know, I guess they're shy. But that was funny. Just like walking and then suddenly you hear Oaks going in Afrikaans, "Hey, julle!" Anyway. So, this is just like, I mean, this was literally a 2-hour drive from Vancouver. Actually, I think from the campsite in the bush to back to our house was exactly 2 hours or just under 2 hours. So that's the crazy thing. It's just also accessible. And of course, all the way we're driving, both Madeleine and John is trying to take pictures of these mountains here in front, the majestic mountains. And of course, I have a little drone, but I haven't got it working, so that was a bit sucky. And we picked up some rain. You can see there's a little bit of a raindrop on the camera lens there. And that should go away. It wasn't really rain; it was just a few drops. It was just a few drops. I can only imagine this must also look amazing in the rain. And be a little bit less accessible, I guess, because then the roads get muddy, you know. It wasn't raining a lot, though. It was just a few random drops. And then there's so many different trees, and the sun shines through it, and it's like everything is just beautiful. It was just funny. It's amazing to think that this country has got so much open space, and most of this is what they call crown land. So in other words, it's government land. I mean, I don't know how much government land BC has or Canada has, but it's huge. I mean, Canada is the second largest country on the planet, if I have it correct. And it's only got 40 million people, and those people are all concentrated in like small areas. It's actually freaking crazy to think that houses and everything are so expensive in Canada, you know, as if there's not enough land and enough trees and enough commodities to actually build the houses. It's just crazy. But then I guess the problem with the houses is just bureaucracy. Unfortunately, that's one thing Canada has a lot of. Red tape and bureaucracy, things that just like take forever. I was I was watching a video of another guy, a Canadian, that moved his business from Canada down to the US. And he was saying, you know, to get a permit in Canada to build a house takes almost 2 years. Oftentimes, and it costs something like $150,000 just to get the permit approved, you know, with all the crap that you got to see. There's the rafters that jump out of the river there. Anyway, to get the permits approved, he says he goes down to Florida and it takes 7 days to have the permit approved, and it costs $1,500. Now, you know, that just goes to show you there's a huge discrepancy there, and that's something Canada is going to have to sort out. Look at the mountain up front there. I mean, isn't that beautiful? The snow on the top, and you've got the water, those little streaks down. It's just snow melt running down the mountain. Stunning. Anyway, what I was saying is it's like, Canada is going to have to get its act together, but hopefully it will change. I think the political elite has gotten the message that they can't just be abusing the bureaucracy and just making it harder and harder for people to actually do what needs to be done. It's just, I don't know, it's just very weird. I mean, Canada is the second biggest country on earth, landmass size. It's got the longest coastline on earth. It's got the most commodities, you know, some of the most commodities, like most of the commodities, and I'm talking about minerals, I'm talking about oil, gas, wood, everything. Canada is among the top countries in the world, yet it's not using those commodities, it's not using those resources, and instead it's just taxing its people, which is kind of weird. Although, hey, we are in the midst of an election now, and hopefully people will vote for change, let's hope. Or even, let's not go to politics, man. That will ruin a beautiful video. Check at the river. It's amazing how many people were out there. I mean, you can see all of the cars. It's just crazy. There's people everywhere. And you've got the stones and the rocks and the trees, and every bit is as beautiful or prettier than the next bit. That is so crazy. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't know what to cut out and what to leave in the video, because I was actually trying, I was going through it, and then I'm like, oh, this is a nice part, maybe I should put this in. Oh, but this is also no, but maybe I should just leave this in. I mean, it was just going to drive me nuts, and it was going to take me forever, so I decided it's better to just keep everything in, speed it up a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, do you want me to rather cut out shorter pieces, or are you okay? Do you enjoy it when we do this 5 times sped up and just chat while we do this? What do you prefer? Because I think we are going to do a lot more of these videos. We're going to have to. It's so cool. Of course, I can also play music instead of talking over the video, so let me know in the comments what you would prefer. Me talking or just some random music's playing? Wow, that sounds like I'm diminishing the music. Anyway, sometimes I do run out of things to say, so you've got to forgive me for that. Oh, look at this. I know everybody was going, oh wow, Belinda and John, and everybody was taking photos, because I don't know if you can see it nicely on the screen, but it was cloudy, and then suddenly the sun came through, and these trees and everything just looked so alive. Oh, there's a little hydro plant again on the left. All the colors and everything. Stunning. And just a little piece of tar road there before you go back onto the dirt road. Suppose it's from long ago and it wasn't maintained, so that's why it's now a proper dirt road. Although this is a very lekker dirt road. I mean, it's not really a bad dirt road. It was decent quality. Really, really nice. I got this little drone that I need to figure out how to fly, because this would have been a cool shot, flying the drone over the river. Next time. And then you've got the oaks with their vans, like those van life type of people. They just pull up their vans, go park somewhere and sleep. That seems like the perfect thing to do, right? I really think that's the solution. I need to try and figure that out. All right, off of the service road. These are all little farms, and they look so lekker. I really need to try and figure out what they cost. That's actually a nice idea, because you're just outside the back of Squamish, just off the highway. So, I mean, you literally freaking an hour at most from Vancouver, 45 minutes maybe. And you're in Squamish, beautiful town, beautiful mountains. And these look like little 5-acre plots or 5-acre farms. So you've got space to plant your own veggies and do your own stuff. I think that sounds sensational. I reckon that would be my dream. having a little 5-acre plot in a beautiful spot like that where you can just like, live half the year or a good portion of the year, and then having an RV or a van or something that we can drive around. Anyway, that's it. Cheers.